discussing about random variables. And first, we will talk about why we need random variables, and then we will use them, and we will give some examples. Then we will move to um, probability density functions and probability mass functions and probability distribution functions that use actually that are functions of random variables. So why do we need random variables? Okay, let us talk about it. Um, it's saying in many experiments, it's easier to work with a numerical summary of the outcome rather than original sample point. For example, 50 people answer agree, disagree, and like in a survey, and we record one for agree and zero for disagree. Then original sample space contains all ordered strings, zero, zeros and ones of length 50. So ordered means like order matters. 1 0 and 0 1, they are counted different. Okay. If x denotes the number of ones, then the number of x is 0 1 2 3 and so on up to 50. Okay. Because we have like length is 50. If I make a slice here, now I start putting points. So for example, they just put 1 here, 0 here, 1 here, 1 1 1 1 up to just 1. So like we are choosing from 0 and 1. So this is agree or disagree. So what was x? How did we define x? Um, if x denotes the number of ones, then the range of x. So now we are saying x equals to the 1. So for example, here x equals to the number of ones. Number of ones in string. Because there are 50 people to answer. And the sample space will have like 1 0 1 0 and so on. 0 ones, 0 1 0 1, 0 1 1 1 1 and so on. So we are just taking x equals to the number of ones in the string. So how many ones can be? It's possible that all of them are 0, so it starts from 0. It's possible that only one number is 1, all of them are 0. Only two are ones, all of them are 0. Um, all of them are ones, so this is up to 50. So that's why the range of x is equal to the 0 1 2 up to so on. So this is also a simple space. We can call it a simple space, but technically actual simple space is uh, these strings like 1 1, all ones up to all 50 ones, 0 1, all ones and so on, all zeros and so on. So this is actually simple space, actual simple space. But since we say x is the number of ones, so this denotes like this covers all of the points. So for each point, we assign some number from here to a real number. So what we actually did, we assigned every number from here a real number. So this is how we define random variable. X maps each random variable outcome, each original outcome to a real number. So the random variable is a function from a simple space S into a real numbers x equals to the S to R. So every element we take from here simple space and we assign them a real number from here. Now let us take another example. Can you tell me how many strings would be here? because I have only zeros and ones from here. I'm taking 0 and ones from here, and I have 50 slots here, for example. So there are two possible ways I can put um, numbers here. So again, I can put 2 here, and so on. So I will have like this size will be 250. Number of s is equals to the 2 power 50. All right. So let us talk about now another example. So toss two dice. X equals to the sum of numbers. So then what would be the simplest space? The range of x. Toss two dice in sum of two numbers. At least we will have sum of two dice would be 2. We can have 3, 4, 5 up to 12. And toss a coin 25 times. And the number of heads, the range would be 0, 1 up to 25. And apply different amounts of fertilizer yield per acre. And the yield per acre could be any real numbers, you can say. So it's a codomain actually. We cannot really say the whole real number line, but it could be like we can say precisely r positive, including maybe 0. But anyways, um, this we call it the codomain, not really range. So if we call it a codomain, then the early x would be this. So if x is a random variable, then it creates a new sample space, namely range of x. Suppose s1 up to sn has a probability p function on this sample space, and x has a range x1 up to xm. Then what? Then so we had like here s1, s2 up to sn, and we assign here is a function x which assigns here x1 up to xm. So we really assign like numbers from here to here, here to here, and here to here, and so on. So what do we really mean by x equals to the xi? X equals to the xi means, so range value is xi. The corresponding inputs will be meaning of x equals to the xi. So x equals to the xi is exactly when original outcome sj belongs to s satisfy the x of sj equals to the xi. Hence, the induced probability function x is, so technically if I tell you like x equals to the xi actually is sj belongs to sample space such that x of xj equals to the xi. All right. So probability of x equal to the x equals to the xi is what? Probability of sj belongs to s, x of sj equals to the xi. We usually write probability of x equals to the xi instead of sometime. I mean, you can drop x from here. More generally, for any a subset of x, for any subset of x, if x for a, you can just take any subset of real numbers. I believe, or rather than saying real number, if we take from range of x, that would be better. So let us say this is range of x. Px x belongs to a, then S from S such that X of S belongs to A. So then we are defining this Px from X to R. Alright, this defines a new probability function on the range of X. Instead, P of X belongs to Px of A is non-negative by definition. It's saying like this is technically Px of A. This is how we are defining. This is definition. All right. So this defines a probability function on the range of X. Instead, this is non-negative because the probability of an event is non-negative, and this event is in S. And so we got the first axiom. First axiom says probability of A is non-negative. Another axiom says probability of sample space must be 1. And third is if you have pair disjoint sets, then this is probability of union AI equals to the sum probability I pi probability of I. I mean sum of probabilities. Probability of union equals to the sum of probabilities. So let us try to find Px of the full X. That means S belongs to S such that X of S belongs to X. Since every X of S would be from X, for every S, that means this would be a full sample space. So that would be a probability of S equals to the 1. Now, if you take pairwise disjoint sets from here, then S such that X of S belongs to AI. So this is corresponding to AI. So this set corresponding to AI. So now we wanna find like probability of union of AIs. I equals to the 1 to infinity, where A1, A2, so on, they are pairwise. Disjoint. So how do we like define this? This says probability of S such that X of S belongs to union of AIs. Alright. So let us try to just work on this set first. So are also disjoint. So since AIs are disjoint, so these sets are also disjoint. Right? So we can write this as X of S belongs to union of AIs. You can just take union outside. Therefore, by the countable additivity, so these are disjoint now because AIs are disjoint. So that would be some probability of this, and this would be of X, Px of AI. Random variables are denoted by uppercase, and their possible values will be denoted by lowercase, such as X, Y, Z, and so on. So we are taking an example. Toss a fair coin 3 times and let X be the number of heads. S equals to the head, tail, head up to tail. The values of X are all heads means 3, two heads here, two heads here, two heads here, um, then one head here, one head here, one head here, all tails. So it's like 3, 3 times 2, 3 times 1, and then 0. All right. Thus, x equals to the 0, 1, 2, 3, because we have possible values of x are 0, 1, 2, 3, and we want to find the probability. What's probability of x equals to the 0? So what would be the event like x equals to the 0? It would be take all s such that x of s equals to the 0. So which x of s is equals 0? This is only tail. So which is, so what would be then probability of x equals to 0? This will be only 1 out of 8 is this one. So this is 1 out of 8. So if I now talk about x equals to the 1, then if we have 3, then these are 3 out of 8. So this will be 3 out of 8. Then if we talk about 2, this is also 3 out of 8. And if we talk about 3, then this is 1 over 8. So 1 and 2 have 3 over 8, and 0 and 3 has 1 over 8. Let's give an example. Uh, Suppose 50 people answers agree disagree, and each of 2 power 50 strings of zeros and ones is equally likely. Assume that, and let x equals to the number of ones in the string, and then this curly x equals to the range of x equals to the 0, 1, 2, and so on. For example, probability of x equals to 27 is equal to the number of strings with 27 ones divided by total number of strings. So number of strings with the 27 strings. So we have like in 50 slots. For example, this is one, up to 27 ones, and then 0, and then 0. This is just one outcome. If we just switch 0 here and 1 here, again this will be another outcome. So how many strings are there with the 27 ones? So since we have like 50 slots, and we wanna have 27, so we have 50 possible options. Okay, and we just wanna choose 27. So if I make the slots for 27, uh, um, how do we make 27 slots? Yeah. This is 27 slots. For example, 27 circles, and I have here 50 possible slots. All right. So 50 possible slots, like one can move here, and one can move here, and 000, and one can move here, and so on, and one can move here. This is just one slot. All right. So this is just one slot. So if you just move this here and you move this here, again we will have another string with the 27 ones. So how many strings will be there with the 27 ones? So how many times this 1 will repeat? How many times this ones will repeat? So this is saying 50 choose 27, and total number of strings equals to the 2 power 50. And in general, probability of x equals to the xi is 50 choose I divided by 2 power 50. and this is a count of number of strings with exactly I ones, and denominator is 2 power 5 count of all possible strings. Technically, I am not that good in this.